Tank Girl, a paratextual presentation by Avelino Serrano. Tank Girl is a movie directed by Rachel Talalay based on the British comics by Jamie Hewlett and Alan Martin. The original comic was created in 1988 and the film was released in 1995. The film follows Tank Girl, a girl living in the dystopian future of 2033. After her survival group is ambushed by an oppressive corporation, she joins forces with Jet Girl and the Rippers, a group of mutant kangaroo men. Together they challenge Kesley, the leader of the mega corporation Water and Power that monopolizes and controls the little bit of water left on Earth. The film was deemed a cult classic despite its unsuccessful turn at the box office. Many modern critics have reviewed the film in the past decade and have stated that it was ahead of its time. While the subjects of capitalism and limited resources is relevant, it is not the main theme that Tank Girl holds. Water is important to the storyline, but the patriarchy is what both the director of the film and the writers of the comic aim to tear down. Before Tank Girl, there were only 2 female-led superhero films I could find that had a budget of more than $25 million. The first film was released in August of 1984, Sheena. Here is a picture of what the character in the movie looks like. Her makeup and hair is done in the style of that era, and her wardrobe consists of what the male gaze dictates. Despite living in the jungle and spending her time with wildlife, she looks as if she is ready to step onto the streets of New York. The next film was released in November of that same year. Supergirl only came to theaters because of the success of the Superman films. Here is a picture of what the movie poster looked like. We see her with the iconic blonde hair that is always done perfectly, despite flying at supersonic speed. She wears a tight unitard which calls for a skirt, even though pants are much more practical when fighting crime. The directors of this film wanted to make sure that every inch of her was flawless. The main paratextual element I'd like to focus on is genre. Here are some of the marketing materials the film used. We see that unlike the former 2 female superheroes, she does not appear to be a model or a flawless goddess. Her hair is buzzed off and unkempt. Her face isn't even entirely shown, and she isn't even the center of attention for the poster. Instead, the tank takes up most of the frame. Here is another advertisement poster for the film. We see Tank Girl blowing a raspberry to the audience. The marketers knew that they didn't want to stick to the stereotypical Hollywood sexual appeal of women as superheroes. Instead, they chose to embrace the character's femininity and pose her in a tactical way that is effective in a post-apocalyptic world. They make sure she has goggles and weapons surrounding her. Tank Girl was not meant to be a sex symbol like Sheena and Supergirl. While those directors were both men, Tank Girl helmed a female director, Rachel Talalay. It also boasted the rated R rating. Throughout the film, we realize that Tank Girl does not adhere to a damsel in distress or an elegant female hero. She cusses, makes crude and sexual remarks, and takes matters into her own hands without seeking anyone's approval. The scene that best captures this is when she breaks into Liquid Silver. We witness tens of women dressed in silver sexual attire, pleasing men. They run around at their command and work for the patriarchy.